no one's put anything out there yet.
Well, this is a big deal, it's been on for people for a week.
Oh, yeah. And, next week I am going to my conference. I think Heather's gone this week and next week's the Fraser's conference, so I'll be gone next week in Manhattan too. So if you need anything, I'll be available by phone.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Turn it off.
Howdy.
Oh, you ready for us?
Okay.
Michelle, no one.
You can just watch if you want. If you like. Yep. Got it.
No better than what?
You said one.
No. That's Megan, everybody. She's my
Hi, Megan.
replacement.
So to meet
She's
you.
coming over to get the just first day. She just comes to commissioners meeting.
This is your first day?
That's right.
You could follow a better crowd than this.
Well,
Let's see. Okay. First section, okay. We weren't prepared, I have to tell you.
what?
Well, they gave us this big old book last week, but then they didn't tell us who's coming today until this morning, so.
Well, they didn't get ours until what, Friday, I think I brought it over to Logan.
Because we were still trying to get some.
Today is not you, Michelle, we're talking
Yeah.
about short staff that everybody's trying to.
We're short-staffed. We were waiting on the bids for the AC units.
Oh, I didn't
So-
know you were getting them.
Yes. They're just about done.
You getting touchy because they're 1,000,000 years old and they shock people? What?
They shock people and then they make really bad noise when you're standing outside in the parking lot. Like at any minute it's their last breath. They're circling the drain, they really are. Yeah. Three of them are 27 years old and the other ones are, I think they said 17 years old.
So how much of this almost $500 million are we looking at?
Huh?
What's grant?
Oh, are you
what-
still on total expenses? Do you want my special ones? Does that help? You know, where I minus out what we're looking at for.
Thank you. Don't let them send you down to check on the air units.
Yeah.
What is the grant profile look for, like, for 26? Does everything look like it's still gonna be funded, or we still got?
Have no
That's
inclination.
what I was afraid of.
She has asked
Numerous
weekly.
times. Matter of fact, I clarified again this morning. Still not.
Nobody knows.
No.
We've heard,
On one.
yeah,
but
one.
That's it.
That's why there's the note on there that there's some things that are planned purchases, but only if the grant comes through. If it doesn't, it won't happen. We won't purchase, we won't go. It's just-
You have a lot of those grants also for wages.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, we've got wages.
Isn't it wages? You okay? But if the grant fails, then the wage formula for that fails also.
Yeah.
So that either means, I mean, you either have to take in more money versus from your private, so going for insurance for your services and things like that, and help offset those. So there are ways to help offset that. And there are a couple of other new opportunities, or one for sure that's came about that's a discussion. I have a meeting about it next week, and it would be pretty significant. It would help out with that as well.
So we potentially got a backup.
I do,
Good thing.
yes. It'll take some work, but I can make it happen. It's gonna take a lot of work. But
And there's always the caveat that, you know, if the grant doesn't exist, then the program doesn't exist, then the person may not be needed. But we'll try not to do that.
When is your exit date?
July
Not that she-
31st will be my last day.
This coming year.
I remember 2 years ago you said June 1st. June 1st.
I
You
did.
sat in this exact same spot. You said that.
Now, we are talking, you're talking this year, not next year?
Yeah, this year, yeah.
I would say
About a
this
month
coming,
and a
I'm
half.
thinking a 26-year budget.
Well, my replacement may change this altogether, you know, she may not. I mean, she's got education, so she might just, you know, come up with her own style format for doing
I'll
this.
take experience over a
This
degree
might-
any kind.
This might be the last time you see this mess.
I know some of them you have to have.
Cameron.
I know.
Your plan this year, your plan last year, your plan this year, and your plan next year, you're raising everybody up except yourself, and you're gonna get to a position where your underlings are gonna be making more than you. You get into overtime with
Do
your
we?
employees,
Not very often. We keep that at a very, very minimum.
Yeah.
you do comp time to get pretty much.
Whenever they go extra during that week, we'll allow them to take off later in the week. So,
Yeah, like if they had a training or something, special events. They try to use their comp time in the same pay period as it happened.
So we don't really
We
store
don't
it.
let it accrue.
got your utilities going down about 3,500. I'm assuming that's based on what you're experiencing the last 12 months or so, but everybody else thinks those utilities are gonna go up.
Well, I did some research and, I mean, on just the average, I lost the word. Like, I included a 3.5% increase on those,
On utilities?
for just like an
Over
average
actual?
inflation rate for 26.
Okay. Over actual, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I like doing that instead of just budget. It's more factual.
If we get those new units, maybe they'll be more efficient. He's not looking very positive there.
Well, it might help with electric for sure, if you're pumping it out on the ground.
Building maintenance up 50 times, imagine that.
I think that's enough.
It's not.
I don't think that's near enough, really.
I do think somebody needs to come over and look at the foundation. That's a definite, somebody at least needs to look at it and give, because that, the wall, the west wall,
What would be an expectation of doing the groundwork to manage that water?
Personally, I think the best thing to do is wipe it out and start over, and not do a basement.
Well, no basement for sure, but we have a plan for a new building.
No,
wouldn't that be like a water issue or something? I don't know. Do you guys qualify for like a CBDG grant?
Do we what?
Do you qualify for CBDG grant, community block development grant? I don't know if counties do or not, I know city municipalities do.
I don't know if yeah, we do.
Yeah.
How big is the ambulance park gonna be? Maybe they can dual occupancy. I'm anxious to hear more about those plans. That survey was ordered supposedly a long time ago. We haven't seen anything. We may have to,
That would be a unique situation there.
well, you got your part, you got your part. A whole lot cheaper to build, and you're building it all at once.
we can build cranes here in another building. We've done,
Some probably not people that in the future, don't know how near in the future, but down the road somewhere.
looks at the building sooner than later. You're a big crane girl.
Now. Mark Burns. Back for people to approve it.
How much free time do you have?
free time, what?
In your job.
In my job?
Uh-huh.
I don't know, depends on what
How about you coordinate with Dale and Holly on the economic development?
I can. I talk to
See
them
what
quite
you
a
can
bit.
come up with, just a brainstorming session.
Please see what's available.
I know Dale's pretty familiar with community block development grants, so we can look into that. And I know it goes for new buildings as such, so it definitely goes for, I mean, it depends on which part. And of course, there's a match to that. But then also, USDA also has grants as well for buildings, and they can get that down, and they can also do a special bond on that, which they would have to explain all that too, because we haven't talked to us for the city of Oswego for some different buildings and such. So there's two different avenues there that you can go.
And some
So,
of that you can piggyback on your match.
right, so they will allow you to do that. So I can try to talk to Dale and see if we can sit down and we can try to call, matter of fact, I talk to the Department of Commerce pretty much weekly on different grants, so I've never really asked for one for us, but I can. So I can try to contact Tricia Purdy and his little office and try to find out.
That would be awesome, Peyton, because
Okay, good.
we're looking at some very serious costs for just basic maintenance, catch-up, survival, or it does make sense to rebuild, it's just not money.
The building at Front and Main Street in Galena, on that side of the street on the west side, they're working on, they got a letter of support from the city of Galena. They aren't gonna be out any money, but they're working on 3 different grants to refurb that building. One of them is a brownfield grant, I know that. But then there's another one, and those 2 will be the matching portion of the 3rd grant, the CDBG grant that they're working on.
Yeah.
So there's 3 there.
75-25, and you can, as she was pointing out,
And I will
It's
definitely
something.
check into that because the Brownsfield is what we're working with the city of West Mineral for their grant for their park. So,
what's the basis of that, or where you're talking about in particular? I'm very familiar with Brownfield, but,
for city of West Mineral,
uh-huh.
well, because of, so Jacob has come out a couple of times and they're gonna come out and look at it again because it had some areas on there before that were very feasible, very usable during that time to, back in the day, and now it's not. And so it's really not had any use for things because my understanding, they still have yet to do the survey under the ground to find out. But next door, there was an old filling station that still had probably the gas tanks underneath this, it was in close proximity, and then being in close proximity with all the coal mining as well, so they're looking at
Yeah,
that.
I don't see how any of the criteria would fit that hurt the park.
Oh, for Brownsville?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just have to check into it, see what they have.
Let's see. I don't have any other questions. Does anybody else?
I'd say if you can, just check on the grant, something, that's something. The buildings, you need to put any more money in that building, what I'm getting at. You just put a Band-Aid on it.
And it is a Band-Aid,
That's
several
what we're
Band-Aids.
looking at.
That's what you'd be doing.
But if the heating and air goes out, we will have to do something about that because that's,
If what goes out?
if the heating and air
Oh.
go out.
Yeah.
2 of them are connected together. 2 of the main ones are together. And then 1 and unit 2,
How many units do you have for the whole building?
5. So,
Well, you can rewire, can't you? Mike said that wiring go over.
well, 1 and 2 is the
Oh,
one that's
combo.
sounding pretty bad. 1 and 2 is the one that the the wiring was pulled loose from the building, so the conduit has come loose, and somebody had duct taped it together previous to me, I have no idea. And so then they, pulled it, it's pulled loose, and so you can see the wiring's exposed right there, and that's not the one, that one just makes a noise, and it sounds like it's on its last leg. The other two on the opposite end are the ones that, when the guys were working, had put their hand on it and touched the wall, and it shocked them, so. Just saying.
Well, we do know they're getting power.
That they are. It's not usually a reason.
Brenda, did you get certified yet for your next venture?
About a year now.
Ready to go, huh? We're gonna miss you, that office is gonna miss you. You are
I'll miss this.
so efficient.
I mean, you know, after 35 years, it's home. It's like,
Yeah,
it's gonna be weird.
second family, huh?
I never thought the 2 years would fly this fast. We sat and discussed this. I thought we've got a lot of time.
See how long you have to stay?
I see.
You have any questions or any concerns for us?
Nope, I'm good.
I think the sooner the better. See if you can consult with Dale and Holly.
I
So we can
will.
have some direction.
I know he's back right now because we talked last week, so I'll give him a call. Try to meet up with him this week.
We're just telling you, you'll be in a certain day, certain time, have the donuts ready.
I will do that.
Well, thank you guys, we appreciate it.
Thanks.
Hey, call Renee, call Tracy at Glen City Hall and ask her, can you talk about that, right? Because she's not with the group.
Hey Peyton,
With the,
we're going to
South Street.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
If we were to get a hold of, call down and ask your treasurer how many square foot it is, just thinking about the building, couldn't you get by with less?
So downstairs, the basement has a lot of stuff stored in there. And it's records we have to keep for so many years, so you have to keep that. Plus it also houses all the heating units as well downstairs. So that part, there's some of it that, yeah, we would do away with, it wouldn't be bad. But upstairs, I mean, there's not as much room as what people think. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not laid out very good, and there's no place to store stuff. I mean, literally, there is no storage. We have no place. Like, we got a carload or a truckload of car seats in, and then I'm supposed to put them in 25 car seats. We literally had to stack them downstairs on top of each other, out in the middle where the public is, and, we had to kind of corral them back there to the back. But we have no storage. There's no place to put things.
But if we looked at possibly a new structure, we may be able to, design it, be much more
She would
efficient
definitely
with
need
less
to
of
be
it.
in on that plan of it.
I mean, just to give you like an example, just to tell you. So when looking at new programs, we were looking at having, our program where we would do like STIs, okay, and try to do those. Just giving you this as an example. We don't have a room that's actually an exam room that has a sink in it where you can go and take care of samples or anything like that. If we were to have a patient that needed to come in and get the sample, we have to send them to the outside bathroom, they have to carry it through the conference room and through the other room in there where we have our lab set up. And then it is not designed right at all, and the room is teeny tiny, I mean, very small. There's room for 2 chairs in there, and that is it. 2 chairs, a small corner table that's about a 2-foot table over in the corner, and then 1 centrifuge machine, and then 1 locked cabinet to have all the supplies in. But I mean, it's just that whole logistic thing, there's no room for people to go in, and there's no, you have to escort people down the hallway in front of everybody pretty much when they're leaving that room to go to another. I mean, nobody knows what they're there for, but I'm just saying, the flow is not, so that's why we have opted not to do certain services at this time, because of that
It's a
reason.
bad deal.
It's not conducive to be set up for clinics. We could do a lot more different procedures and things, given that we had a different setup. I mean, we've had, for instance, Crawford County has asked us, because they would love to have somebody to come down to do family planning clinics. We don't have the setup for that at all. And they used to do them back in the day, but things have changed since then.
Well, gosh, I wish we were having this conversation a year ago.
It's my understanding though that it has leaked, but I don't know how long. I just have made the request because I don't know how much longer that we have to mop after every rain. And I mean, it's all day. I mean, the minute you finish mopping and you take 2 steps back, it just comes back up through the tiles. It just literally, you can stand there, I feel like Carol Burnett. I'm just standing there like mopping the whole time, you know? It just comes right back up to the floor. But the amazing thing is, I don't know what glue that they use to put those tiles down with, but they don't come loose. They just lift and then they go right back down. So even when it's
Probably something that's on EPA's list now.
probably, I
I
don't
was
know,
gonna say.
but it just goes right back down and just stays back on there. But it just pours in from the wall. And like I said, the wall has cracked from one end of the building clear to the other end of the building. And there's even a lead wall in this other room in there because that's where they did the x-rays at a long time ago for TV. And that whole wall on the inside and outside where the brick adjoins to the concrete has completely cracked on the inside and the sheetrock is coming off. Because I was gonna paint and then I just kind of said, nope, it's not gonna, because you paint and it's just coming off as you're painting.
Would a wet mop be easier than a mop?
You just, but the point is that you have to stand there and completely just just use the wet back. Because it just comes up all
Well,
the time.
Either way, you're using something.
Yeah,
I
it's
get
just
that part
running
of it.
in.
I get that part.
We don't know where it's actually coming from. And I mean, I know that there's a significant amount of mold downstairs in that basement. And it probably would contribute to why several of my employees have been sick a lot and can't get over things. Because they sit right outside of where the vents are. So where the staff sit, is where the heating and air unit is, where the big vents are that go right up the stairs, and then their desks are on both sides. So, but I will look into it. I'll do my best, and then I'll give you guys, as soon as I find out something, I'll let you know.
I
Okay?
appreciate that.
You bet.
Thank you so much, Tracy.
Thank you.
Did you look in payables?
Oh, I got my boxes this morning.
I don't have papers.
Oh, you don't? That's right. Let's see.
Larry Lee?
Yeah,
Well, this is
That's quiet.
not anything we're gonna take care of today either way, so. Anybody have anything for the record?
No, I'd like to have a 10-minute executive session with these 3 commissioners whenever we get time.
We have time.
Make a motion then, 10 minutes.
Second.